Sounders, hello. This is Mick, bringing you a considered reaction to the tumultuous events in Southampton on Sunday. Lily-livered Mick, as some now call me. When my friend Thomas the Boyd, editor-in-chief of the wonderful, free broadcasting organ devoted to our mutual love of all things Pompey, namely Pompey Sound, when he asked me last week to predict the results of our away match with them down the road, quite frankly, Sounders, I panicked. In my head, all the hope and promise of this new Portsmouth FC regime, its growing confidence and self-belief, was under threat from the fly-blown Saints with their recent ill-fated but real experiences in the Premiership, bringing them wealth to dream of, hanging from their every gentle, like bloated loads of money plutocrats sitting as they did in their ivory tower, smoking their cigars, drinking their brandy, looking down on their neighbours, us, with disdain and arrogance. I did feel a bit like that. I did not want our quiet gathering momentum to be marred in the smallest way by defeat in Southampton. So I dismissed Thomas the Boyd's friendly question with the worst scenario I could think of. A 3-0, Tom. We're going to get beat 3-0. It was ridiculous of me, I know. But I really thought they were fresh out of the Premiership. They were spending £55 million this summer. They did spend that sort of money. They had their new wunderkind manager. I had to be mentally prepared to deal with a blow. Look, Sounders, I didn't believe it, for goodness sake. I was covering my back, don't you see, from the pain that would have come with defeat. Surely, please, Sounders, you understand that, I beseech you. But no, some have called me a traitorous, lily-livered snowflake. OK, so be it. I don't care. We achieved the best point you'll see from a game we play this season. Because that was the result in the circumstance of this particularly extraordinary under the microscope game. The best 45 minutes we could have. Seen by us all. Achieved by Pompey. They dominated the first half that is, from back to front. Defensively, really powerful and well disciplined. They were compact, always got back into their shape swiftly. If there was a mistake, and I'm not definitely saying there was, but Schmidt very occasionally does a venture too far in his very important role as sweeper at the back of his defence. And on this occasion, you all know, he advanced on Ogilvy, and the ball, as it approached him, it's arguable that he should have come. But he did, and on rushing was Ogilvy, and he was pushed in the back. by Fellows, and they cleaned each other out, basically. Tom Fellows is a talented, highly rated player, brought for a lot of money to Southampton from West Brom. Desperate, I'm sure, to prove himself at his new club and to bring them success. But frankly, he did push Ogilvy in the butt back as our fullback shielded the ball back to his keeper. Fellows caused a horrible collision. It could. I don't know because I haven't been there. I haven't studied what people are saying out of PO4 about these two boys now and how they're physically affected. I really don't know, but it could badly affect our season if we lose Schmidt or Ogilvy or perish the thought both for potentially long spells out. Fellows, I'm not saying that he deliberately he certainly didn't deliberately cause the accident that he caused. I mean, no one in their right minds would wish that on someone, and it was a scrambled moment. It was heat of the moment, but he put his arms out. If we look at it kindly, we could say he put his arms out so that he himself wouldn't fall as the collision occurred, but it did appear that he gave Ogilvy a push in that catastrophic moment. I mean, we can be charitable and say that he was trying to slow himself down to protect himself, and that is to some degree natural. Only Tom Fellows knows what he was thinking. He certainly wanted to get away from it as quickly as possible afterwards, I think, and that was probably wise of him. But we could all share, and do share, I think, John Mousinho's post-match anger at the damage he may have caused. OK, let's get over that now. Back to that first half. Pompey it was a great half for Pompey, I thought. They were better by far than Southampton. Quicker on the ball, more incisive in the press, more efforts in the box, calmer in possession. All those things that indicate a superior side. Murphy put in countless dangerous crosses. Dozzell hit the bar with a beauty. It was a fine display. The second half had to have some reaction from the stripy ones. And it came, but it didn't threaten to take the game away from us. It was just a bit more even. We were disrupted inevitably by the loss of a keeper and a fullback. But we didn't let it show too much. And although the game got scrappier, there were still opportunities to have scored for us, mainly, again, coming from Murphy. We could have had all three sounders. But we're big enough to settle for one because it was what you call a good draw, a good point. And it'll go down in history as such. And our lads all played well. I thought Zach Swanson stood out. He's getting better all the time, isn't he? And Paul and Shaughnessy were great. Josh Knight has focused their minds. Actually, maybe that's a bit of a unfair thing to say, really. I'm sure that their minds would have been focused anyway, and we know they're good players, but they really have formed an impressive team, the pair of them. And long may that continue. And I think it is also, there is some we need competition. We need competition all over the pitch. I think that's what John Mousinho's obviously, in fact, I don't have to think, it's obvious that that's what he's creating. And the more the recruitment goes on, the more that's going to occur. And we're stronger for it. It's just as simple as that. Swift and Dizelle had fine, controlling games. We were never overrun in midfield, although I'm sure that was in the plans of the team down the road. Colby was, as always, getting something on the ball, getting to the ball, being a nightmare to mark. Well, I say it week after week, I suppose. He's not the tallest, but he still wins so much ball in the air and shows such strength and determination. Connor Chaplin and Adrian Segacic are terrific young attackers, and in attack and defence they were high energy. They worked their socks off. They did everything that their manager wanted of them and more. The way they worked back sometimes was so impressive, and it lifts everybody. It lifts the defence when you've got attackers that are going to be prepared to dirty their lungs by dashing back and covering at times when it's needed. It was a terrific display. Murphy just had a classic Murphy masterclass, didn't he? They were all up for it. They didn't need previous old players who've played in derbies to come into their training and give them a little talk on how to deal with the occasion. They didn't need that, for goodness sake. That's what you do if you're down the road. They just listened to John Mousinho and went about their business, and also listened to the fans, of course. Listened to them every day, I'm sure. They didn't need anyone coming in and telling them what to do. My absolute memory of ITV's coverage of the game was a big close-up of Matt Letizia picking his nose. I thought that summed up the game of those up the road. I watched ITV and Sky. I watched them both because I'm interested in how they covered the game. I did think Sky's was the better coverage, personally. I do think it's more professional. I do think it's just a bit higher quality, really. But, we were grateful that ITV was there, because I'm sure that brought us a little bit more money, and certainly would have brought us eyeballs, because you not everyone can afford Sky, and it's terrific when it goes free to air. It's terrific when our game goes free to air. The more of it, the better. But Tim Sherwood on Sky was really entertaining. He knows Pompey. He understands Pompey if ever anyone does, and he was funny. The final handshake of John M and Mr. Still. It was the unfriendliest handshake you'll ever see, Sounders, wasn't it? It made a mockery of the concept of handshakes. They were originally meant to prove we have no weapon in our hand. Look, we have no weapon. I have no weapon in my hand. This one between Mousinho and Still was a hand grenade exchange, I venture to say, Sounders. I've nothing to offer you but disdain, was JM's method of handshake. I just want to read to you what John said about it afterwards, because I can't. I mean, it's best just to hear it from his own lips. He said it's fine. It was a strong handshake. I just said good luck for the rest of the season. Did he heck? I honestly don't know him, says John. I just kept getting peppered in my left ear all game. I tried to concentrate on my own side, and I clearly badger the fourth official a lot, and sometimes the referees, but I don't do it to the opposition bench, meaning they did it to him or tried to. He, says John, he made a good sprint onto the pitch early on. That was good. I don't think you were allowed to do that. But that's absolutely fine. No problems whatsoever. When you're competing against each other, that's what you expect. I don't want anyone to come off and be the best of friends after that game. We want that competition. What a bloke he is. What a manager he is. He's good, isn't he? He's taking to us this fine team because behind the scenes the Eisners have put together a blooming good team from on all levels, at all in all departments, and they're taking us on a great trip, and we'll enjoy it. Let's see if we continue this momentum. That's what I was trying to say. Let's hope we can continue this momentum until those up the road come to us, of course, in January, isn't it? By then I'll have no demons, Sounders. I promise you I won't be predicting a 3-0 defeat. I was just worried. That's all. It's natural. Anyway, thanks for listening, Sounders. And play up, Pompey.